In terms of the second example that cuts across academic institutions, entrepreneurs, and private sector players, I would take an example out of Singapore. And about 4 years or 5 years back, the government of Singapore, they were looking at the issue of aging. I think there's a major demographic shift that's happening all around the world as we speak. And that has consequences for many countries, including the developed nations. Issues like aging, mental health, dementia, these are very, very relevant issues. And the government of Singapore wanted to look at how to foster or accelerate the ecosystem around. Really, the entrepreneurship ecosystem which Singapore is well known for, but really target some of the high-end energy or really the top-end talents towards developing innovative solutions which can be scaled, which can be developed in-house, it can be scaled and then deployed, which solves the problems that this demographic shift is going to bring for this nation. The approach was very innovative, and the approach was about the Access Health International and Duke in NUS, which is a collaboration between Duke University in US and NUS, National University of Singapore. As we started looking at this problem, we felt that there are three pillars, and if we want to develop scalable solution for aging, technology innovation is on one side of the play. But how do you take the ideas that is available around the world and globally accepted ideas for innovation? Is there a place where it is documented? What are the solutions that has worked very well in other parts of the world? How do we translate that, localize that into ideas for new ideas, which is contextualized for Singapore, and then build viable business cases and develop a support structure for the entrepreneurs to scale that idea, to seed that idea and scale that idea. So it is, in certain way, help, engage, connect. And the solution, which I would like to highlight here, is pretty innovative, where both Duke NUS and Access Health, we looked around the world for innovative case studies in the Nordic countries, where aging has been an issue and a lot of focus has gone in, Scandinavian countries, parts of Europe, parts of US. And what we're able to do is develop an online curriculum that talks about challenges in chronic and elder care and some of the case studies that can facilitate ideas. Of course, a solution in one part of the world cannot be replicated as a template in another part, but at least these are good points to start looking at what are the points of excellence available. Duke NUS was able to merge that with their online curriculums, which gives entrepreneurs, they were able to bring in the network of entrepreneurs, interested people who are looking at new ideas, and develop a e-learning course which combined the technical content with our input along with the business fundamentals and entrepreneurship modules. And they were able to package that in a technology platform which allowed collaborative ideation, including people from technical experts. You had funders, you had academia on one hand. And this was an intense community building exercise, out of which came ideas that were ranked, mentored, and then, of course, there was a competitive mechanism to pitch the ideas to prospective investors to get seed funding, and then acceleration phase, there were other elements of support. So in a certain way, if you take a step back and say, how can a problem a problem where education is a leading way of generating new ideas, and then someone playing the facilitating role of connecting industries with both the interested minds and aligning those minds with relevant examples around the world and letting them focus on the contextual issues that are relevant from Singapore's point of view. This is slightly more detailed in terms of the steps involved, but I would not go too deep into it. But one of the things you can see within the issue of the first step, you of course have an online academic program and curriculum, but then the methodology to disseminate that, some component of e-learning is there, panel discussions, this mentoring one-on-one, collaborative workshop, site visits, roadshows, open day. So a lot of it is about stimulating demand and getting the right people selected and them matching them with relevant ideas and having an engagement over a few months. Then really connecting them and bringing in the knowledge and the information exchange partners, whether they're investor networks, practitioners who really know the subject, domain experts who could critique the ideas, help it refine, and then mentors, and then the leaders, which are eminent personalities from private sector as well as the investment forums, who could then take the role of taking these to maturity. The results, pretty impressive, nearly 100 plus business ideas at the end of the funnel, and a number of lectures, presentation, over 1,000 entrepreneurs who participated. I wouldn't go into all the ideas that came, but some of them have been touched on by Dr. Purohit, but you would appreciate that aging is a multidimensional issue, and it has the challenges that are felt, it involves some of it could be dealt with through data analytics. So for example, if you have a walking stick, can you measure the rhythm of the walking of the person and predict when somebody is going to fall before they actually fall? And you prevent the damage. Or you would be surprised to know, and it is an accepted fact, that in large countries, whether China or Japan, every night, tens of thousands of elderly leave their home and they don't come back. Finding them, retrieving them, and bringing them back home is a pretty monumental challenge. But making experiences from collecting experiences and solutions and then tailoring them to local context and seeding those in the mind of the entrepreneurs gave rise to very, very innovative concepts. I am going to stop here. I'm not going to go into each of the concepts, but some of them you can see in terms of the pictures. And these are about new designs, concepts about how elder homes should look like, colorful, joyous. And I would like to stop there. Thank you.